Tom, good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you, Jenny.
Because there's always something going on in New York.
Yeah, always something in New York, you know. It's always better here, you know.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know better in which way, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But State Senator Generis, I mean, he says he's determined to have the strictest gun laws on the books in the country, in New York. So he's introduced a package of bills. I mean, it really is like a laundry list of legislation. What can you tell us about this?
You know, and I'm not sure why he's doing this, because we already have the strictest laws in the nation. You know, so
well, you're apparently like number 4 on the list.
Yeah, you're right. We probably are. You know, what can I tell you about this is that this is the typical Democratic, liberal overkill reaction to a situation that there are already laws on the books that could prevent, if the liberal Democrats were willing to prosecute the bad guys who've already broken the laws. Mm-hmm. Is that convoluted enough? That's what I learned in New York politics.
Yeah, but you know what? And it shouldn't surprise us that he's doing this with the help of the Brady campaign. They've helped him craft his bills.
Oh, yeah. Brady campaign and New Yorkers Against Gun Violence, they helped him craft the bills, and, you know, they've been right out there, behind everybody. You know, as soon as there is any kind of tragedy, you know, the Brady campaign is right out there hopping on it, you know. They never want to let a good tragedy go to waste.
No, and it's a tragedy in itself that they do that.
Sure it is.
You know, and the media never seems to play that angle of it, but it is. They shouldn't do what they do. They try to use the tragedy to advance their own agendas. That's what it's all about.
Sure, just like Mayor Bloomberg. You know, he does exactly the same thing.
Yep, and I mean, when you take a look at the list of these bills, we're talking about one gun a month. We've heard that before, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
A mandate of a 10-day waiting period before buying a firearm.
Yep. That's new in New York, though. That's the first time that's ever been here.
Oh, really? And then he's going after dealers as well. They're going to be hit because he wants to require certain permits and insurance. Yeah,
the insurance has been around before. The permits is, that's a variation of an old bill. But the fact is that it's still, they're only going to regulate the lawful gun owner. It's not going to do anything to take the criminals off the street and reduce gun violence, because it's the criminals that are doing it, not the legal and lawful citizens.
And really, the fact that they're doing this, and the Democrats have made clear they are ready to go with their bills if they can recapture the Senate. Talk about sending a message to gun owners and why they need to turn out in force. This is it.
Oh, this is it without a doubt. I mean, the Democrats are looking to capture the New York State Senate. They're looking to take back control of the House of Representatives. And we have to ensure that doesn't happen. We have to ensure that Obama doesn't get reelected, because, a lame duck president like him, who is as anti-gun as he is, with 4 years to do whatever he wants to do. Oh no! That would spell the end of the Second Amendment in the United States.
And we won't know America as we know it today. There's no kidding. I mean, for all sorts of reasons. But you talk to John Bolton, and he'll tell you.
That's right.
We are heading in the wrong direction.
The UN is a big one of those reasons.
Yep. But the Democrats seem to think and that they have the support of Governor Cuomo, because I was reading an article in the New York Post, and apparently they talked to a Democratic consultant who predicted that because Cuomo's eyeing a possible run for the White House in 2016, he's going to go with these bills.
Well, I talked to a conservative pundit the other day, and he said to me, there's no way that Cuomo can go with these bills if he wants to be president of the United States. Mm-hmm. And I think that, I think that there's a little bit of truth there on either side, but the fact is that I can't see the governor going for these pieces of legislation right now. I can, I could see maybe something coming out of that no one has talked about yet, something that will reduce the availability of guns for criminals, or maybe enhance the penalties for criminals. I think that the governor and I think that most of the people in this state know that we have enough gun laws on the books, and what we have to do is we have to prosecute and put in jail the perpetrators who are using the guns in the course of their crimes.
And the bottom line, as you said, is making sure gun owners get to the polls, make their voices heard. And I was going to ask you, Mitt Romney's picked Paul Ryan as his running mate. What do you think about that?
Well, he's a great guy. I wasn't expecting that pick, but he's a great guy. He's pro-gun, pro-hunting, and, very, very fiscally conservative. And I think he's just what we need. I think it's a great addition to the Romney campaign.
No kidding. I mean, he's not only an avid hunter, he's a fisherman, and he makes his own Polish sausage. Now, how about that one?
Well, I like him then.
But really, more important, he really does share the concerns of gun owners, and the most important, he's not afraid to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm a hunter, and I'm going to stand up for these rights."
That's right. And you look at him, and he kind of exudes American values.
Yeah.
He looks like the all-American guy. He that's come up through the ranks. That's been a hard worker and believes in a lot of the things American that are losing favor with the liberals today.
Yep, he believes in what makes America America, our individual freedoms. And
that's right.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens in November, but like you said, get out and vote. And if you don't, you only got yourself to blame.
That's right. And as they say in New York, vote early and vote often.